Hey guys, a couple of bits of information. One is we're going to start the accident attorney's job in about 6 hours. I am really excited. And second is I want to, for everything you know that we can do with that thing, I want to explain a little bit more in depth because also we just added something else that didn't exist maybe 20 hours ago. And it's pretty cool. So I've already shown you this idea that we have a lot of traffic coming. We have like 200 people coming a day through a set of sites that we put this coding on. And for those people coming, it's just huge. It's like 50 people per page times 115 pages, so what? 5,750 hits, about half of which are good hits. They're in the right range of times that we want them to be. Some are too short, some are too long, but these are good hits. So anyway, we can look back and see the journey they took and see if they had any issues, see if the thing worked out, okay? And I've been showing you that. So we're doing that with all the websites. So this is really cool. So for those of you who go to Website Installer and you get a new template from our new releases, then it's got this power built into it. Now, having said that, guess what else has built into it, or what's, it'll be pushed out over the next 24 hours. Check this out. So if I were to come into the admin panel and I wanted to check user actions, we were already explaining that, right? That we're tracking every individual user, every action that they take, all right, so that we know everything that they've done. And this obviously is a programmer. We know everything that they've done on the website, and we date, time, stamp, capture that information. So a couple of things that are really cool about that. See the blue hyperlinking? This didn't used to exist. This is what's new. If I click on one of them, it's going to tell me some information about it, and I just opened some tabs, so let me show you. In cases where we don't have any information for the guy, like this is a hit from out of the country, then that is the information we get. Just basically where the hit came from, okay? And that's really all we wanted to know. Okay, this is a local one to me. This is over in New York City. Okay, great. But we ping Decrypt My Leads for all these to see if Decrypt My Leads has information on these guys because we look them up. And so we get information on like 40 to 70% of the people. So like half of them, we get information on it. So check this out. We get as much information on a single visitor as first name, last name, email, city, state, country, marital status, gender, zip, age range, education level, homeowner status, household income range. Okay, and for country, you shouldn't be saying country, it's really county. So this is Maricopa County in this case, so basically Phoenix. All right, what is the point of that? Let me bring it back to here and I'll explain it. For each particular one of these, we're going to have a marker for which ones we have real data for instead of just country-based data, but beyond that. So there will be a marker for that to make it really easy to see the latest guys, because this is date, time, stamp, sorted, the latest guys who've been on the site where we have information about who they are. And guess what else? Engagement score. Engagement score is based on the elements for the actions where we set those to high priority. Right? All through the website or websites, right? And think the accident attorneys, we pay attention. So for the particular theme I'm on, it's called agency. The main page of it is index.html. If I wanted to see all the possible actions on that page, I click on that, right? Now, we went through this before. Okay, so there are things that can be clicked on. Anchor in the banner, another anchor in the banner, another anchor in the banner, because there are three things that glide by, right? That's the idea or whatever. And one anchor goes here, another one goes there, another one goes there. It's all test stuff, but they work. All of this works. So on the blogs, there are links there. There's stuff in the footer, header, okay? Testimonial section of the page. There's videos you can click on. And what do we do with these things? These are named, they're made clear to us. And what's the thing that's important about it? We decide priorities. We think at least 8% of the visitors who land on the webpage should be seeing this video, okay? And we set that priority to high, okay? So this is our guess on how many people minimum are going to see this video, right? But that's our goal, right? Or maximum to start with. So as people come, if we're getting that, that's great. The website doesn't need to do anything to change that unless we go to change it. We could set it higher. Now, the website can't make people watch videos, but what can it do? It can track whether enough people are watching the video. So is at least 8 or 12% of the people or 24% of the people watching the video or not? Say they're not. Well, then the website's going to check here to see if we have any alternatives plugged in. And if we do, there are other videos of equal quality that could be swapped interchangeably with the one we have up on the page. The purpose? To try through the next group of people so that we can do that measurement and see if we get a higher or a lower hit rate. And if we're hitting the goal, great. The website will leave it alone. It won't touch it. We don't want to touch anything that's meeting the goals. But if we're not meeting the goal, then what do we want to do? We want to lower the thing, right? Or I'm sorry, if we're not meeting the goal, if we're going down, what do we want to do? Swap to the next video and test that one. Okay, so this is the kind of idea, is that we're able to make alternative choices. Now, we have alternative choices for everything. And we're going to add more as we go. There's submit buttons, okay? And, okay, I'm not seeing one here. There's a submit button. You know, if somebody goes to submit, if they're not submitting that form or whatever it is that we have there with the submit on it, then if they're not doing it, then what are we going to do? There it is, the button, submit. Then we have alternatives for what we're going to use for the headline, the subheader, and the button text, okay? And that's another example of how that could go. What else could happen? Say they land on where they can make a purchase from you. They can get on the monthly subscription, annual subscription, or the single-time payment, right? And say they go to do that, okay? And say they don't buy anything. Well, we can lower the prices or raise the prices. Maybe the prices look too low. It looks too cheap. So we can do all these different things just by setting them up as alternatives in the system. And the system will test them from top down. You know what else is really cool? I had somebody say, what if you're not really sure what kind of bylines and headlines and taglines you want to put in there? Use your AI bot. That's what it's for. You can create commands, says like write 5 testimonials for something, create a tagline for something. You can do that. Just remember that your command has to end with the colon, right? Write 5 testimonials for colon. Steamer, carpet, all right? Cleaners in Chicago, okay? And then put your keywords and word count and hit next, and it'll create them. And then you can copy these things and paste them wherever you want. So you can do that to create content for every little section on all of your pages for you. And bylines for what the payment should be for things and so on, okay? So that's the idea, is that it's all right here at your fingertips. It's so simple to do this stuff. So when you're done generating your article, you know, you can assign it to one of your pages, which is in the content area, right? And you can always create more pages just by hitting add new for add new page, okay? So I've got videos that go over this stuff, but my biggest thing was just showing you the importance of all that. Guess what else we can do when we turn around and we have, let me get back there, because this is important. So we have these, we're going to mark which ones we have human information for. We're going to mark engagement scores. Every time they hit one of our high priority things, that's what I meant to say about the actions. Every time they hit one of our high priority things, then what? Then we're going to add a point to that engagement score. All right? We're going to add a point. And when we add the point to the engagement score, where was I? Here. We'll add a point to their engagement score and also the date timestamp, right? Now that's awesome, but what else can we do? We can decide at what level we care to put that email, whenever we have emails, into the newsletter that's going to drip on them because they're engaged. How many engagement points do you want? 0? Then all the emails that we capture will go into your newsletter and you'll start dripping on them. One, because you want a more serious group, somebody who took some action. You want fewer unsubscribes and more interest, and you want to know that group of truly interested people. When you look at your newsletter, you just want to see what looks reasonable. And then there you go. By the way, I had somebody say, well, I never do a newsletter. And I'd say, what do you mean you never do a newsletter? He goes, well, I don't know what to write for those things. Why would you write it? What do you think this is for? This writes it for you. Tell it what you want it to write, and it will write it. Some short thing that becomes your day zero send. Welcome to our thing. Get this coupon off your next purchase. Whatever it is. Figure out the basics. Lay out the basics in the description and say you write it. And your bot will write it for you, and it will write it better than I can write it. So your bot can write all of your newsletters. You want 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 or 20. Your bot can write these things. How's that? Okay. So yeah, you want a newsletter. Yeah, you want to set it up. Yeah, you want to go forward with it. Yeah, you want to pump all your people into it. There you go. It should make sense. And we have all those integrations for the newsletter connections. So choose your poison, right? Choose your weapon. And MailChimp is a great way to go because it's free for your first 500 contacts, but you can only send a day 0 to them or a day 1. You can only send 1 to them. But that way you can see that thing unfolding. Then you can decide to upgrade. I used to use GetResponse for years. I used them. I don't think they have as much throughput rate though. This seems to be the best. It's the most stuff to manage, the most to learn from their YouTube channel. But at the same time, they have the best delivery. Having said that, this is the most compatible for larger teams, and so if you got real estate groups out there and stuff, Salesforce is usually what they like to use to guide people and groom people through the process. There are a lot of systems that like to use Salesforce. Okay, so yeah, you just switch to any one of these things and get it going, right? Okay, with the keys from your account. Go in, log in, get your keys, come back, put them in here, and voila, right? Okay, so what do I want to say beyond that? This. See these date timestamps? Well, yeah, and see these date timestamps? So as soon as we make sure they're both reading the same time zone, then you're going to be able to tell by the engagement, you're going to be able to see by the date timestamp, and go check out that video of their most recent thing, whatever it is that they were doing, that was leading to them getting more engaged with you. You can actually watch. Now, you wouldn't want to do that forever, but you want to do it in the beginning. Make sure everybody's happy, make sure everyone's getting what they're trying to get, that when they engage, the result works, right? And they're moving forward through the process, right? And if you see them tripping somewhere, like I said, I watched somebody reach up and hit a link and then hit it 3 more times. He almost gave up on it, but then it finally went through. And I realized, I got to check that button. Didn't know about that, Then I saw a guy who was looking at a page and he went for the calculator, but he hit the wrong link to the wrong calculator. So what it showed him just confused him totally. He had no idea what it had to do with. And then he drifted. He went somewhere else, checked something else out, didn't know what it meant, and meandered off, right? So, wow. It's really important to learn from those first guys. That way we can go back and upgrade things, change things, improve things, and then put it back out again. And now we're going to have much better hit rates. So we can ensure profitability with websites this good. I believe these are the best websites on the internet today already with the power that they have at the moment. And we're adding more in. Not only can you create all your web pages and all your commands for writing things, but your website self-adjusts to improve your ROI. Not only that, but we're incorporating the art generation feature soon. And not only that, incorporating how to put the emails you want into the newsletter. It's actually done. We're just tying it together. And yeah, what can I say? We're going to be able to hit our projects hard and fast and strong. Put all our stuff up on there. Make sure the guys check it out and agree. They'll probably say add something in the terms or who knows what. If they say don't put our number up with the Google AdSense stream, then we're going to split them either by the pages or by the website sets, things like that. But that's okay because There's so many lawyers that want the phone numbers for the calls. There's so many lawyers that want the live agent on the side. And there are plenty of lawyers who want to buy leads that are engaged. And that's exactly what we're doing, proving out who's engaged and who isn't. So we don't just send them everyone. We don't just say, oh, here's a lead. The guy was on the site 7 seconds. Here's another lead. Yeah, the guy was on the site a second. But 2 minutes? Okay, that's enough to get some information. That might be a cutoff. For one guy, he'll say, I'll take it from 2 minutes up until 12. Okay? Another guy might say, I'll take it from 1 minute until 30, 32. Why? Because a guy on the site 32 is probably inactive, but he probably took a look at something, went off to lunch, and came back, maybe finished it. And so he might still be there. But it's not just the minutes, is it? It's the engagement. So being able to say who did what that's engaged, right? They're hitting our our goals, priorities, high priorities. As long as they're hitting our high priority items, the things that we're setting, then yes, that's telling us who's engaged. That's a really big deal, right? So there you go. It's all the stuff added up, all right, that make these websites incredible. And there are certain engagements we can ignore, like if the guy calls the company, great, we'll mark that as engaged, but that's calling a phone number. So yeah, we don't need to send the guy a newsletter, do we? No, that's calling a phone number. We can put that as a minus action for adding the email to the newsletter. We'll say, just let the guy talk to him. He'll tell him what he needs to tell him. Okay. All right. I hope you're finding this interesting. It's huge. What I would do if I were you, if you haven't done it yet, go to Decrypt My Leads, claim this position, and I would get into the accident attorneys. We set this thing really low. We're going really, really wide with it. We understand our plan. So choose your poison. It gets less expensive the further down in population you go. But we did a video too to help you find sweet spots. It's in my YouTube channel, right? So if you go to youtube.com, Max Traffic, you should subscribe, hit the notification bell, right?
About 1 in 10 people.
But in the meantime, what do I want to say? I want to say this right here. Make sure to watch this. Moji Evolution, the best affiliate program for you. It's long, but we explain to you how to do simple research, just monkey see, monkey do. And what'll happen is you'll find awesome locations for your positions. You'll know what you want to get and why you want to get it. Okay? So this whole thing will pay well because the payouts are huge, right? Somebody makes a call through the phone number, it's $500 to us. Somebody clicks on a Google AdSense stream. It's anywhere between 200 and 400. Someone engages on the live chat that we put in the site for whichever lawyers want to do this kind of thing where they have their picture and it says something like, whenever you're ready, we're standing by, so-and-so is here on the call, whatever, or so-and-so is ready when you are, and then you can go ahead and put something in here and talk to them. That becomes all a lawyer angle. These guys will pay a lot for conversations that become interesting. As a matter of fact, I want to make this point too to be really clear about this. Capturing the details of people, okay? That's where we're capturing the details and we're probably putting them in the newsletter and tagging them, right? Even though they didn't reach out to us. We're like, hey, if you're in the market for this, those guys are the right guys to talk to, kind of thing. If you've ever been hit by a car, these are great accident attorneys in your area, right? That kind of thing. But this is to talk to anyone, whether the person's in the country or not. This is the ability to communicate directly with somebody straight through the screen, so to speak. And the value of this, okay, is that it can be set with the delay to pop up, okay? That way somebody doesn't have to stand by on the other side. They can literally be out walking around. And it's just whenever their phone app buzzes that they can see that they got a message through this thing. It'll show up through their app or through their email. And then they can just reply to it and send it and keep going about their business. Every industry has a number of companies in every single industry have people on the side who answer these things. There could be the girl who's the babysitter, and she's on 12 different apps like this that get random contacts throughout the day. And so she's babysitting and then answering. Sometimes, hi, I'm John. She's John. Sometimes it's, hi, I'm Mary. She's Mary. It's whatever the pop-up says. Because you never know who's who. But it doesn't matter, does it? So, that's awesome. So plugging that in, then whenever that happens, we get a copy of the transcript. And for every good lead, we get paid. Okay? Could be like $200. And we don't even have to charge them to put it in there. That way, everyone's always going to want to put it in. Okay? To talk to whoever's on the other side. It'll have the delay pop up, and whoever engages them, they're going to go to it. I had somebody say, what if the phone number is up here and they're talking to them down here, but they want them to swing their way? The answer is, I understand your concerns. Thank you for explaining. You should speak with John, who's our attorney in that department, right? Our accident attorney, our personal injury lawyer. Here's his direct number, right? So even these people are going to know this number's up here. Once they get them down here, then they'll just have them call whoever it is with a direct line number right there in the text. Does that make sense? So now you know you're not just calling this big generic number up here that goes to some front desk, but you're actually being given John's special number to call, and so you feel like you're getting where you're going, right? So we can make all this stuff work. It's pretty amazing, okay? Yeah, I don't know what to say. This is it. This is the thing to get into right here, okay? And we are starting that project in about 6 hours, okay? We're going to start to put those websites up, and as they go live, you're just going to get them proofed. The first few proofed, the rest are going to follow suit, just follow the same suit. But they're going to be a bunch leading traffic back. And yeah, when we do this, we're going to sign up through OfferVault, for instance, for all their lawyer-based programs that are paying $500 a pop. We might even go through some other ones too, like Commission Junction, just get a bunch of them into place, see where we're making the most money. And that's awesome. That and AdSense and everything else. You don't need to do anything but pick up your position, okay? And if you're not making enough in that location, we'll add more locations so that you are. We have a goal to get you 10 times over the first year as a minimum. I mean, you could make 10 times over the first month or the second month, and then 10 times over every next month. We can't stop you. You're in for a year, okay? If you don't make at least 10 times over, you get to keep all that money, and we have to roll you into the next year and keep going. That's the way we set this up, okay? If you do make at least 10, we have the right to tell you, okay, you're cashed out, and so now you got to get another position. But you can get other positions along the way as you make money anyway. For as long as we keep this thing open, you are free to go. By the way, just to be clear, if you have a business of your own, you can do a search up in here for something, keto or whatever it is. If you, roofing, whatever it is, if you have a business of your own, then you can put it in there, right? You can start a project for you. When we build it, we're going to build it using the same kind of websites that we have now, with all this functionality that we've been building in, all this stuff about tracking, all this information, all this ability to see playback information. We're going to build it all in, okay? And that is amazing. You're going to have access to just everything you want, okay? Complete with the AI bot. So you don't need to write anything. Just guide the writer to do the writing for you. Check its output. If you don't like it, say try again until you like it. Make little adjustments to the keywords and stuff, try again, and then you're like, aha. I mean, the more you use it, the better you'll get at it. It's very simple, but it's a ton of fun. And when we throw the image generator in there too, and you can generate abstract art or pixel art or whatever you want, it's going to be awesome as well. Okay, because there are going to be commands. As you mass generate the pages through our mechanism for that, our iterations, among the commands where you're saying write about this, then write about that, then write about that, then write about that to make the page, in between some of those sections, you're going to say generate that kind of an image, align it to the right. Write about this, write about that, generate another image about this, and align it to the left. Then keep writing, and then generate another image and center it. And every time you can tell what kind of an image you want. First time might be a Siamese cat. Second time might be a chair in the shape of an avocado. Third one could be baby seals. Okay, now obviously you're going to put in stuff that makes sense, but that's just it. So AI art is really, really amazing. They do make the faces fuzzy, so don't do things that are meant for faces. And I think they do that on purpose now, because I've done this several times and seen the same thing. I think they fuzz out the faces so they don't look like somebody for real, like a likeness thing, because then people run out there and intentionally do stuff like this, maybe with some people, who knows. So whatever, but anything else. Somebody said fish on table, and it created awesome ideas of fish bowls with fish swimming in them on different tables, in an office, in a home. So you just get more specific. 3 red goldfish in a fish bowl on a desk in the office, or on an office desk, black office desk, brown office, or whatever, bam, and you'll get it. That's how amazing that stuff is. So you build that into the structures of what you're producing. Every time your writer writes, it's totally different. And every time it does the same kinds of images according to your commands, they all come out totally different. So just think, how do I do images pitching what I want? And you think, well, what's the benefit that people get out of what I'm selling them? Focus in on the benefit. That's why a lot of projects have happy, smiling people. That's what we do. We do happy, smiling people. You know, they're our guys, our designers. But there are a lot of ways to do it. There are a lot of things you can do that are cool. All right. It's amazing. So this stuff just makes your life really easy. And then the fact that their websites can track and update is really amazing. I had somebody say, what's the fastest way to get the websites to self-optimize for the best possible result? Push some ads through it. If you did like a nickel a person, it would take you $1.25 to go through 25 people. $1.25 through 25 people hitting the page can allow the website to make some changes based on check every 25 people. So then if you want to do 100 people, you want to do 4 evolutions of that, you want to have it go through 4 upgrades, 4 cycles, then that's $5 for a page. $5 for a page, you got 5 pages, is $25. Then if you want to really make sure you locked it in, do that 4 times. So in a day, you can get enough traffic, maybe 2 days, you'll get enough traffic to each of those 5 pages to force them all to optimize. As they optimize, guess what's going to happen? The people land, wherever they are. I always forget where I put this on. When people land and start doing things, you're going to see them spending more time on the site, scrolling down further on each page, say, or clicking things, more engagements. Their engagement score is going to increase all on their own because you force the page to optimize the best across, a good sample of people. And then you said, now try again, now try again, now try again. You let it try a handful of times like that, even in a day, because it's not about waiting a long time. It's just getting through a bunch of people. Well, if you could get 25 people through the site in a minute, it'll learn. And then get the next 25 through, it'll learn again. Just make sure they're real people. All right? There you go. That's really it. Okay. Hope you found this interesting. This is crazy. Don't miss. Get involved. The sooner the better. We're going to release this and push it up. And as it starts to pay, you guys who are in are locked in at the level you chose to climb in at, which is great. The higher you can go, the higher you lock in at, which is really, really good for you. Because you lower your risk, the higher you go. It means that we wind up paying you a chunk, but maybe not hitting the 10 times over mark. And so then you get a bunch of extra money. And so it's cool. All right. There you go. And those of you who go to website-installer.com and you just simply want to get websites like this to tinker with, to play with, to grow, to push, go to new releases. These are the ones that are updated with the most power today, right? And they're the ones that all self-monitor, self-adjust. They all watch the traffic. They all track it. They all have the AI bots. Everything about this is freaking awesome. So you can check a bunch out with the live demos. Then you can get details for the one you want. you know, and you can buy it on subscription by the month or by the year. Going for a year is 2 months free. Otherwise, you get all this stuff. And what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. If you don't like a template or it just isn't the right thing after all, you thought it would be, but you want this other one after all, then just let us know. Within 30 days, we'll swap it for you. Anytime within 30 days. Just say, yeah, I got this one, but I really want that. Maybe that one had a looping video and another one did not, and you wanted the looping video at the top, something like that. Okay. Yeah, this is for building yourself something and pushing it. And then if you want to start to expand it, if you want to make it strong, what do? Go to Super Affiliate Sites and pick up packages there so that we can keep adding. Because we're going to take whatever you did, we'll look the stuff up. We can even get the recipes out of there, and we can start creating likewise through these things for that. Okay? But there you go. That's on subscription. Okay? The Quit My Leads is one-time cost to you, and then it's in our hands. You guys are just doing a group project in this case. It's very different than I'm going to go here and do my very own thing going in my very own direction. Yeah, I get it. But the group helps the group. All of you guys getting in, that's great. It just means that every next guy means we can do better for every one of you who are in. That's it. Come in large, come in small. The larger you can come in, the larger you lock and load your returns. But if you have to come in small, come in small. Just get in. This is probably the biggest, best project not only we've ever done, but I got the idea from the Super Affiliate dude. The affiliate marketing dude, that's what he's called. And he was talking about this, but with one site, and he's making a ton of money stuffing it in this pocket, you know. Then aside from that, being able to just see how users interact on the site and make adjustments, and then let the websites also make adjustments. Theoretically, the websites will just keep improving themselves so people will stay on the pages longer, click more things, which means first, more sales, also higher natural rank. Google rewards sites that get that effect. And so then the higher it climbs, the more the traffic, and yet the sites are doing so awesomely. So very long time on page, very many interactions. And so it's just increasing money constantly. And the websites, again, talk to each other and bring the best returns back to all of them so that they can all optimize according to the winners of each optimization queue. I don't know what to tell you, but I've never heard of websites that operate this way. Okay? And if somebody goes, hey, we go, do you want to buy leads? And they go, well, I don't know. How engaged are they? It's like, how engaged do you want them to be? You know? Well, they got to at least see the video. And then you'll talk to them? Yeah. Okay, we'll set that standard and you can buy those guys. Isn't that nuts? All right, just letting you know what's going on. Take care.